On this channel, you guys know we're pretty much anti-Islam. You guys know that, right? Everybody got the memo on that? We're anti-Islam. But there's a reason why we're anti-Islam. I guess I have to clarify this to the people who are new here. All right? We're anti-Islam not because we just have this grudge, specific grudge against Islam. We're anti-Islam because Islam is at the forefront of being against the ideas that we think makes the world a better place. Right? We are more pro-enlightenment than anti-Islam. Being pro-enlightenment just naturally leads to being anti-Islam and anti every other religion. But let's be fair, Islam is leading the way right now against enlightenment values. Okay, we don't discriminate. We go after all of them, but Islam is like at the front. So I don't know, like if you guys like here are new here and you like, oh yeah, Islam, like great job, Austria. Austria is like, what are they doing? They're banning Islam? What is banning political Islam? What does it mean? I don't know what this means, but this seems good. Like there's a ban here, and that's like a negative word. And then there's Islam here, and that's also a negative word. And so ban, there's a negative, and there's a negative. So I guess I like this. This is a good thing. Like they're banning something that I don't like. So I guess my mind, my brain fish is like, oh, I don't like this, and this is against that. So I guess this is great. Yay, Austria! Right? Is that how we're thinking here? Because I don't know, man. I thought like, hey, this sounds interesting. Is this a good move? And then I looked into it. I was like, I'm not sure. I don't know if this is a good idea for so many different reasons. Okay, I don't know what's happening here, but it doesn't pass my smell test. It doesn't seem very pro-enlightenment. You guys know what I'm talking about? You guys understand what I'm talking about? Is like we're talking about banning, and then first of all, what the hell is political Islam? What the hell is political Islam? You mean just Islam, right? Because I don't know if you've read the Quran, whoever came up with these ideas, or if you've read the Hadith, there's no such thing as political Islam. All of Islam is political. Muhammad was okay. So are you gonna? Muhammad was a political figure. Muhammad wasn't just a spiritual leader. He was a political leader, and Islam is following the way of Muhammad. So are you just gonna remove Muhammad from Islam? If you're banning political Islam, are you gonna create a Muhammad-free version of Islam? I don't understand what the hell does that even mean. So if you're gonna ban political Islam, that just means you're gonna ban Islam. Okay, that's what it means. Ban Islam. Again, so that's that. And guys, are we in the live chat? Susanna is saying like, oh, we know what we are talking about. Okay. Okay. Are we, guys, people in the live chat? I know a lot of you have this trigger like, oh, Islam banning Islam good. I know you guys, like, some of you think like that. But is anybody gonna pretend that they stand for enlightenment values if we want to cheer the banning of ideas? Let's say Islam wasn't even political, and there was like fraction of it, like there were schools of it that was political. Are we gonna pretend here, be like, oh yeah, we stand for enlightenment values, and then all of a sudden the government comes like, oh yeah, let's ban a certain ideology, and we'll be like, you're gonna be like, yay! Is that what we're like beginning cheering? I don't know. Maybe this is not what I think it is. So we're gonna go through it. Okay, we're gonna read it together. We have a Qatari based news organization covering this, and then we have an Indian one, and then maybe if we have time, we have an American one, and then we have a Turkish one. Okay, so you guys keep telling me like, hey, Armin, this news source is biased. Which one of them isn't? Okay, we know they're biased. We just try to notice the bias. Like, if you guys want a bias free, news source, then just don't consume news. Okay, the fact that we educated ourselves about the bias in different news outlets is that when it's not so that we don't consume the news, it's to keep that bias into account when we're consuming the news. Okay, what are you guys saying? Let me see if there's anybody like saying anything against me right now for all of this. Yes, because they are dangerous, bad ideas that challenge common sense. Well, your idea, okay, you want to ban, okay, yes, Born Star, you want to ban ideas because they're dangerous. Well, I think your idea of wanting to ban ideas are dangerous. Okay, so you just played yourself. Okay, you now need to ban yourself now. You need to ban your ideas because I think your idea, is that what you're saying? I don't even know what they're saying. Oh my god, PG, if you ask me questions that has nothing to do with what you're talking about, I'm going to lose my mind. Okay, all right, Katie is asking relevant questions. Okay, Katie's saying it's against freedom of speech because every illegal action which comes from Islam is already illegal by other laws, so we don't need to ban an ideology. Yes, Katie, yes, thank you. Katie gets it. Thank you, Katie. Yes, exactly, Susanna. Hashtag facts. Katie gets it. Everybody pay attention to Katie. Okay, Katie is now is the second guru in this in the live stream. Okay, Guru 1 is Armin. Katie is Guru number 2. Okay, we support the ideas of Guru Armin. No, okay, the first idea of Guru Armin is not to follow anybody blindly. Okay, so you can't follow if you want to follow Guru Armin, then you can't follow Guru Armin because the first rule is do not follow anyone. Analyze everything objectively. Okay. All right, let's look at this. Maybe guys, we just read the title. I might be overreacting. Maybe this is a completely sensible ideas. It just have been labeled wrong. Okay. Maybe the title is misleading. Okay. So let's just not judge it. Let's just figure out what's happening there. Okay. From different angles. Okay. So the government of Austria has agreed on a wide range of anti-terrorism measures in the wake of a deadly attack in the capital, Vienna, last week. Okay, so here's the first thing. Okay, we just read one line. Okay, the first thing I want to know when they come up with anti-terrorism measures, the first thing you have to ask yourself always, was the already existing measures not good enough? Like, were there already measures there that was passed as law that you just didn't act on? Okay, because this is what I notice a lot of times. I don't know if this is what's happening here. They already have laws and regulations and measures that is passed by the government, and they're just sitting there on the books, and nobody's doing something about it. Nobody's like actually taking actions based on those measures that they already passed. And then something happens, and they're like, "Oh, new measures." And we're like, and then some other sensible people are like, "Hey, actually, the measures that we already have, if you actually did them, this wouldn't have happened." Okay, so every time, but this is a cheap way for politicians to just like, "Oh my God, people are going to hold us accountable. Here, new measures, new measures. Are you happy?" And people are like, "Yes, new measures. This will never happen again. Thank you, new measures." But then some two analysts with two brain cells come look at it, and they're like, "Well, the already existing measures would have stopped this, and these new measures doesn't actually stop the attack that just happened." I'm not saying this is what happened here. I don't know, but just this is the first red flag. Every time the government is passing new measures because of something horrible happened, this is what you have to figure. This is what you have to look for. How would these new measures actually would have stopped this attack, or is it just symbolic action for people to be happy? And also the second question is, were the already existing measures good enough that you didn't do anything about it, right? Okay. Let me see what you guys are saying. They didn't judge. Okay, so here's a question. Here's a comment. They didn't judge the Islamists as much worse, so yeah, they did a mistake. I don't know what you're talking about. Maybe I'm just misunderstanding. Okay, Dr. Anarchy is saying Armin is my god. I would want to fight back against that, but I'm enjoying that too much, so I'm just gonna let it pass. The proposals. Oh, here we're getting some more detail. The proposals include the ability to keep individuals convicted of terror offenses behind bars for life. Okay. If they're already convicted of terror offenses, like, as opposed to, like, okay, this is, I already have a problem. Okay. So if somebody murders a person and it's not a terror attack, would they get a less of a sentence than somebody that attempted to kill somebody and they failed? Or like maybe they just try to, I don't know, let's say another offense. I can't think of anything right now that wasn't murder, but it was because the motivation was political or religious. It ends up being terror attack, right? So if it's less than murder, but it's considered a terror, would they go behind bars for life, and they would get more punishment than somebody that killed more people, but it wasn't a terror attack? So I don't know how that works. So need to see the details of that. Okay. So the second part is electronic surveillance of people convicted of terror-related offenses upon release, and criminalizing. This is the part that we were looking for. Criminalizing religiously motivated and politically extreme acts, as opposed to what? Politically extreme acts. So opposed to acts that are extreme, that are not religiously or politically motivated. Wait, so you could commit extreme acts that are not motivated by religion and politics, and you're gonna get a different sentence? I don't understand. Weren't there already, like, wasn't like, what has Vienna didn't have murder bad on their laws already? Like, was this not a thing? Was this not like, guys, if we go to Austria and look at their laws, do they have a section that says no murder? Okay, no, cut it. No murder. Murder gets punishment. Bad. Cut it out. Stop it. Is that on their book somewhere? Is that like what? Like, was that not a thing already? Like, what is this? Is this is like, I don't understand. Was this like, this seems like just like, hey, people who are angry who that we didn't stop this attack beforehand and holding us responsible. Here's some red meat. Look, we're doing something. Does this, I don't know, maybe it's not. It seems like that. It seems like that. What is this? How is this? How would that? Okay, maybe there's something. Maybe there's more. I don't know. Maybe get some more detail. Okay. Chancellor Sebastian Kurz said on Wednesday that the government also plans to simplify the process of shutting down associations or mosques deemed to play a role in radicalization, and enable the public to report potential violent activities on an online platform. A central register of imams will also be created. Okay. I'm getting some Orwellian vibes here. I'm getting some 1984 vibes here. I don't know. How do you like shutting down mosques who deem to have associations to play a role in radicalization? You mean just play a role in radicalization? You mean just like Islam as a whole then? Do you know? Okay, play a role in radicalization. Well, then you have to you have to ban the Quran, the Hadith, every single mosque, the Shahadat, every single one of them. Like, you could tie all of Islam to radicalization. There is no. I could make that connection to you. I mean, I am an expert on making that connection. We have been making that connection. It's so easy, dude. Have you read the Quran? Have you not read the Quran? It legitimizes it. I can't even say that word. It gives. See, if you can't say it, you change it. It gives legitimacy to whatever these terrorists did, and a lot more. The whole, you want to close some mosques because the ones that play a role. Well, I'm telling you, any single one of them that is handing out Quran could play a role. Like, what the hell is this? I don't understand, man. What are you? These are morons. These are idiots. This is not going to help. Katie is saying, Austria says murder bad if it's political or religious, but murder fine if it's serial killing. Okay, Robert Hamilton is here. Those measures ensure past perpetrators will not reoffend. They won't prevent new terrorist acts from new perpetrators. I don't think so. I don't think they're going to ensure. Okay, I'm going to tell you why they're not going to ensure anything. Okay. We'll get more details. I don't think so. I think they don't understand. Guys, what the hell do you think happens in these mosques? What do you think happens in these mosques? Do you think they go sit there and their mom is preaching them to go and do terrorist attacks? Do you think even if their moms think like that, do you think they're such morons to do these radicalizations? I might be wrong about this. Okay, I might be wrong about this. I don't think the radicalizations are happening in mosques. I think the radicalizations are happening online. Okay, and you know what feeds into that radicalization? Shutting down mosques. You know, if I was like creating content to get like some lone wolf, some self-made radicals, if I was trying to encourage that, if I was trying to make young Muslims angry, you know what I would like? But if I was a content creator, radical Muslim content creator, right? And I'm waking up, I did my morning prayer, and I'm like, how could I make people angry? Oh, how could I get more people angry? What's on the news? Let me go see how they're being unfair to Muslims today. Okay, what is this? What? They're shutting down mosques in Austria? Oof. Oh. Ooh, this is good. This is juicy stuff. This is great. I like this. This is gonna help me so much. Ooh, thank you, Austria. Oh my God, I'm gonna make some radicals. You're afraid of radicals? I'm gonna make some radicals out of this news. That's what I'm gonna do. Okay? So you want to shut down mosque? Congratulations, Austria. You just played yourself. Okay, pretentious idiot is saying, guys, I'm not swearing at this person. Okay, this person is actually some people think I'm being a really mean every time I said pretentious idiot is saying. Some people think I'm swearing. That's his username. Okay, his or her. Pretentious idiot is saying the mosque that gets caught with a what assault weapon in the prayer room should probably be shut down. I would say, you know, if you have any groups of people that have like that have illegal weapons, hoarding illegal weapons in their basement somewhere, yeah, I think you don't need to wait for them to be a mosque for you to shut them down, right? So yeah, here's the thing, okay, pretentious idiot. I'm pretty sure the mosque that is being closed down because they were like collecting assault weapons in their basement, okay? I'm pretty sure I'm not gonna check this, but I don't know for sure, okay? But I'm willing to bet money that Austria already has laws that would make you able to shut that mosque down. Okay, I'm just guessing that if a mosque is hiding guns in their basement, Austria already had laws and measurements that would not need any excuses. In fact, any church, any group that was doing any political or religious group that was doing that, Austria already had enough laws in their books to be able to go in, shut that whole thing down immediately. Like they don't even need half a second explaining that. Okay. Hossein is saying, I agree, this just feed into the narrative that the world is against Islam. Not just against Islam, against Muslims. Deborah saying, let us criticize it without being called bigots so we can have the conversation and expose it for what it is. I think that's the response to someone else. Let's continue this, okay? A central register of imams will also be created. Central register of imams. This is Orwellian. Okay, guys. Maybe guys, maybe if we like actually read the laws, right? So I'm being very skeptical, okay? I'm just getting like, this just smells Orwellian to me, okay? It's just like, I'm like tasting this and like, yeah, I'm getting like a hint of 1984. Okay, so I don't know. Okay, maybe if you get a lawyer here to go through the laws and be like, hey, it's not that bad. So let's just be skeptical. I'm just telling you that based on what I'm reading right now, this is a nightmare. This seems like a nightmare. Maybe I'm wrong, okay, but probably not. In the fight against political Islam, God, I hate that word. God, I hate that. I hate that word with passion. Political Islam. That, God, that word needs to die. Like, yes, like, yeah. I went swimming today in wet oceans. I went swimming today in a wet ocean. Okay, and specifically, I didn't like not dry oceans. I picked a wet ocean to swim in today. Okay. In the fight against political Islam, the ideological basis behind it, we are going to create a criminal offense called political Islam in order to be able to move against those who aren't terrorists but are preparing the ground for it. He told reporters after a cabinet meeting. Did you guys just catch what I just read? Because I almost like just glanced through. What? Okay, hold on. Let's one more time, slowly. Okay. In order to be able to move against those who aren't terrorists but preparing the ground of it. What does this mean? This is I'm getting a little bit. You know what? This is also scares me. Okay, this is also scares me because this how do they define this? Okay, again, this is just a red flag. I'm not saying maybe they're defining this very well, maybe they haven't gone around to defining this, but when vague terms are like this are used, preparing the ground for it, you know what this reminds me of? Have you guys seen this movie? This movie should be as famous as 1984. Okay, this movie should be as famous as 1984. I think it should be. Okay, if you don't know it, then go watch it. Okay, this is what this reminds me of. Do you guys know what I'm talking? Do you guys know why I'm referring to this? Do you guys know why I'm worried? Okay, Marco is saying, Marco is saying they are going after Islamists, but how they will determine who is beyond me? Yeah, again, Islamist is another term that suggests that there is a difference between Islam and Islamism. There is no difference. Okay, what's the what we're trying to figure out? Okay, the office. Okay, so here's the thing. Let me help you with this. Okay, some people think I'm trying to separate Muslims from Islam. I'm not. Okay, Islam is the problem. Islam is definitely the problem. The difference is, and I keep saying the vast majority of Muslims are better than Islam. And you guys are thinking like, Armin, how could Islam be dangerous without Muslims? If Islam has an influence on our lives, has to be true Muslims. Okay, and let me clarify how this works. Okay, most Muslims are influenced by better standards and better values and better philosophy and better sources of influence than Islam. Most Muslims, and that those sources of influence includes their own natural sense of sympathy and kindness. Okay. However, Islam is purely evil. Okay, purely evil. Okay, most Muslims are somewhat influenced by Islam, but not a lot. Okay, the more your influence, the more your life as a Muslim reflects Islam, the more dangerous you are. Okay, the more your life reflects Islam, the more of a dangerous person you are. But because most Muslims are only somewhat influenced by Islam or are influenced in Islam in areas that is not as directly harmful to us as some other people, okay, then you cannot use the label Muslim as a way to figure out who's a threat. And if you do, you're generalizing, and you are basically doing guilt by association, and you're doing collective punishment, which is all anti-enlightenment values, okay? So while I blame Islam for these attacks, okay, I do not then go and do guilt by association and try to find and just be like, you're Muslim, so you're a risk factor, okay? Even if Islam is a factor, there's two separate things that needs to be done here. There's an ideological battle, which we fight against the ideology, regardless of the people, okay? We just say these are bad ideas and that, okay, because of that. But when it comes to actual actions on the ground, the government, the officials on the ground, what do you call the police, the military, or whatever other enforcement, local enforcement, they have to focus on action and crime alone. They focus on action and crime, on things that people are doing, not the things that people are thinking. Okay? Enforcement officers have to focus on what people are doing, actions, crimes taking place, harm against other people. They cannot be thought police. They should not be thought police. We have to be careful if any law enforcement turns into thought police. That's a dangerous precedent to set. We as activists fight ideas without forcing anybody to believe in certain ideas. We tell you what all the government needs to do is just untie our hands, okay? Everyone else is active. The government role is to let the activists do their work without constantly being worried about being accused of random crap, okay? But local enforcement, they only have to fight against crime actions on the ground, not against how people are thinking. That is dangerous. That's Orwellian. That is going to lead to a lot more problems than what it's going to solve. This is why we're for enlightenment. This is why we have to be careful when enlightenment values are being betrayed in one way. We don't let people turn that into an excuse to betray it in a different way. Sorry, I missed a whole bunch of stuff in the live chat. Marco is being very skeptical today. I like it. Marco saying, I'm wondering seriously because I have no answer myself. There were plenty of good people who were nominally members of the Nazi Party in Germany. So what's the difference? Yeah, so right now there's no nominal members of the Nazi Party, but during World War II, technically most Germans were considered Nazi people. Again, you guys, I hope you guys, Yahtzees, okay? You guys know what I'm talking about, okay? Are we gonna, you could give them some blame for ignoring crimes against humanity or whatever, or like turning a blind eye or stuff, which is the same level of blame I would give to nominal Muslims. But you cannot hold all of Germany, every single German citizen, just because they were nominally Yahtzees at that time. Right now, there's no nominal Yahtzees, whatever. Don't accuse me of saying they're nominal Yahtzees today. But you cannot say all of Germany, every single German citizen, are as guilty as the people who were putting people on trains, okay? You cannot say that, okay? So actually, that's a very good example, okay? During that time, we had nominal Yahtzees, okay? And you cannot blame every single nominal Yahtzees for the crimes of people putting people on train. But you can still hold that ideology responsible. I have to think about how to explain that in a video without getting strikes. Anyways, see, this is what I'm talking about. It's hard to do activism because I don't know what the rules are. Guys, we already got a strike on YouTube. Okay, we're gonna make a live stream about that. I don't even know. Yeah, I have been so careful on how I speak about this stuff, and we got a strike on this channel. Our first strike, which is forgiven, but the second one is gonna be like horrible. Okay, that's why you guys, please, guys, I don't know how to do our activism if we don't know what the rules are, because they don't tell you why. They don't tell you why. I'm going to do a live stream, tell you exactly what happened. Okay? Guys, please support us on Patreon, because I'm pretty sure this channel is going to get demonetized pretty soon. And I don't know what to do once we get demonetized, because we say sensitive. See how careful we are? I'm saying Yahtzees and Nazi people and the people that put people on train, other people on train. Like, I'm being careful. And even then, we're getting community strikes. What the hell are you supposed to do? And they don't even tell you why. They don't tell you which rules you break. They don't tell you which part of the video is wrong. I don't even know how to improve to not get a second strike. Like, this is like, we're fighting against bad ideas, and we're fighting it the more consistently than anyone else. Like, we're not giving into fear. We're like fighting against the enemies of Enlightenment values on all sides. All sides. We're not being tribal. We're not giving into like jumping on the anti-Islam bandwagon all the time. If somebody wants to ban political Islam, we're like, no, that also betrays Enlightenment values. Like, we're very consistent, okay? We are very consistent on this channel. And I don't know, even then, we're not promoting hate against any group of people. We're just criticizing ideas. Have I been promoting any hate against any group of people? Have I? I haven't. You know I haven't. I have lost many, many supporters because I haven't. And then we get community strike. I don't know what to do. Guys, if this channel gets demonetized, we lose like half of our funding, and I don't know what to do. We need to just focus on Patreon. But guys, support us on Patreon. Link in the description. We got a super chat though. Bashir just got us. Thank you so much, Bashir, with the $1 super chat. Thank you. It just says 100. Thank you. Anyways, sorry, that was a pity party. And I didn't mean to go on a pity party rant, but yeah, that just happened. Okay. In the fight against political Islam, the ideological basis behind it, we are going to create a criminal offense called political Islam. I mean, they're calling their own criminal offense political Islam in order to be able to move against those. Okay, we already did it. The planned measures, which will be brought before Parliament in December for a vote, also call for preventive detention for people convicted of terror offenses. Coors said even if people have served their sentences for such crimes but are not yet seen as being completely de-radicalized, we will make it possible to lock those people up in order to protect the public. Oh, wow. We got a £5 super chat from Marco. Marco saying, thanks for your reply, Armin. I'm genuinely asking these sort of questions because I would like to find the best possible solutions for everyone. Thank you, Marco. Marco, why are you being so great? Nice. Okay, Marco, thank you for the super chat, but I really like your attitude of being skeptical and asking questions. I hope I am as good as you as being open to different ideas. Very nice. I like this. I'm gonna try to learn from Marco. In some cases, people who have just been released will be monitored with an electronic ankle bracelet or wristband. Coors added, without explaining exactly when this particular method would be used or when preventive detention would be applied. So yeah, we need more details. Okay. We need more details. Like, who's going to, like, there needs to be like some very, very specific explanation of what do you mean. Like, how are you going to determine someone who's radicalized, right? How are you going to determine, who you're going to preventive detention. So preventive detention means what? Means that they haven't, for people convicted of terror offenses. Preventive, if it's, am I reading this right? If it's preventive, then they haven't yet. Am I missing something? If it's preventive, then how could they be have been convicted of terror offenses? call for preventive detention for people convicted of terror offensive. This sounds like you go to jail even though you haven't done a terror attack because we think you might. That's what this is. It's Minority Report. Okay, I'm not. Maybe it's not, but this article says they haven't defined what this means. Okay, but the reason this might be not as bad as I think, but it should give you a red flag. Okay, it should give you a flag because this sounds like Minority Report. This is like, we know you haven't done anything yet, but you're giving some terror vibe. You you go to jail. You just go to jail. Okay. Again, do not give the government this much authority. Again, I don't know what this all means, but I hope right now in Austria there's a major backlash to this, so that even if they come up with laws like this, they are very well defined, like terror offenses, preventive, but yet it says they have convicted of terror offenses. So how could it be preventive? I'm missing something here. After saying they mean for people who have been previously convicted, but it's still left up. Okay, but so you've been previously convicted, you did an actual terror attack, and you served your sentence. So now the law has determined that you don't deserve to be in jail. And now we're putting you in detention again, even though, because it says preventive, because you haven't done anything else yet, but you go to jail because you might. Yeah, this is fishy stuff. Again, okay, Terrell saying late for the stream, just catching up. I think what this means is that if somebody has already been convicted of terrorism, get out and do something suspicious, they can be detained. Okay, that might be fair though. I don't know. Just I think it deserves a red flag, guys. Some of these might be good, being good. I'm just saying, like, let's just like right here, right over here, just put a red flag here. I'm not saying don't do it. Okay, I'm just saying just be like, I'm gonna put a red flag over here and a red flag over here. I'm just gonna check back on you later just to see how you're defining these things. Okay, I'm not saying I'm not saying these are bad laws. I'm just planting a red flag here. I'm gonna check back on you. I'm gonna plant a red flag, and I'm gonna tell everybody to this is scary stuff. Scary stuff, guys. Pay attention. How are they gonna define this stuff? Okay, so maybe these laws are gonna be good. I don't know. I'm just thinking, like, when people come up with crap like this, everybody has to be like, human rights groups. Everybody will be like, You just do that, okay? Just go, and be like, everybody repeat after me. Okay? That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying these are bad laws. Just be mindful. And just saying it can be useful, I think, if it's for a short period of time, like maximum year. Yeah, again, all of this needs to be defined. This is why we have like lawyers and human rights activists, because they go deeply and they have to they spend time actually reading these things and like, hey, what is this law? Define this. Okay, define your definition, and now define the definition of your definition, and how is this going to happen, and how is that going to happen, and what do you specifically mean by this? Okay, so these things need to go under a microscope. Hemendra is saying, shall we trend some Atheist Republic protection tweets? I don't know, like, how are YouTube. I'm gonna do a live stream on what happened with our strike. So you guys, we're like getting so many hits, so many places. We got a strike on our YouTube channel. Amazon took down our shirts. Redbubble took down our shirts because of mass reports by Hindutva. My Twitter account is lost. Right? And what am I saying? Like, am I really bad? Why are we losing everything? Am I saying anything horrible? Like, I mean, like, what are I'm just like, this is cartoons. I'm losing stuff. Okay, no. Robert is saying, how would a convicted past terrorist prove that they are now completely de-radicalized and will not reoffend in the future? Robert Hamilton, I think the question should be the other way around. I don't. Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's a good question, but the question should not be. I mean, the person who hasn't committed a crime shouldn't be the one that proves that I'm not going to commit a crime again. Is the government who wants to do an arrest? They have to prove something. Like, what happened to the it's an innocent until proven guilty standard that we have, right? Like, imagine if the government came to you and be like, prove that you will not commit any crime. Like, I don't know how. Like, I'm just gonna be like, how about a pinky swear, huh? How about a pinky swear? Does that work? Because I'm pretty sure the burden of proof should be on the side of the entity that is doing the arresting and the punishment, okay? Not on the side of the person that is doing. Yeah, I think we should bring back pinky swears, right? Like, prove that you're not gonna do terrorism again, right? Yes. Pinky swear, that's gonna be the law. Yes, it is effed up. Okay, but Afshin, just because I use your comment to highlight something, that doesn't mean I'm attacking your ideas. I'm just using your comment to highlight something. You guys get defensive sometimes. Yes, look at you guys actually did them with me. That's awesome. Oh, I love you guys. We need to have a emote. Wait, let me see. It is saying, if you believe Secret Services screwed up, you can use this law until Secret Services catch up. If you believe terror attacks are imminent. Okay, but here's the thing. A law like this, are sticky, okay? Laws like this are sticky. Like, hey, we had an attack. Let's do a temporary law and then do preventive measures until we don't have this problem again. And then all of a sudden you introduce a law like this, and the government and the intelligence agencies like, wow, this law is actually letting us do so many things that we couldn't do before. And people are like, okay, guys, are we gonna get rid of this law now? And like, people are like, no, stuff could still happen. Like, guys, this is like really legit. Like, this is legit, like crazy authoritarian stuff. We thought this is going to be a temporary thing. Like, nope, there could still be attacks. It's when you give the government authority, they usually don't give it up that easily, okay? So just be mindful of that. Especially intelligence agencies, okay? They love these laws, the laws that opens their hands to do as much as things that they want. Like, oh my God, look at this. We're like, we can open like 5 more offices over here because these laws are opening our hands to do. Well, okay, so they're like, oh, we have new measures to do these things. Well, how do we do these things? We need to increase our budget. We need more offices. We need more agents to be able to actually take actions on these measures. And now that we open all these offices and all these measures, all these agents and these budgets, they're like, okay, if you take this measure away now, we have to fire people. And I mean, we have to fire people, we have to cut budgets, and we don't like doing that. We do not like doing that. So this is why I'm telling you, this stuff is dangerous. Maybe this is how to think of people who get convicted of child. Be careful with what you tell me. With CM, are put on SEX offender registry to keep the public safe and are monitored after they get out. Yeah, but they do not. Okay, even if you want to go by that standard, yes, I'm pretty sure people who did terror attacks, they do get put on lists and stuff. But you don't go, those people that you just mentioned who are put on SEX offender registry, they don't just get, if they don't do anything, they don't get arrested. They're not put into detention, even though like, hey, like the police doesn't show up at their door one day and be like, okay, you've been a good boy for the past 10 years or stuff, but we just have this hunch that you're going to do something. So into jail you go. And like, but I didn't do anything. Like, nope. We just have this hunch that you're gonna do it, and you did it before, so you go back to jail. So that's not how it works with that registry. So even based on these examples, it doesn't work. Okay, let's continue. If I carry a she said butcher knife in the streets and yell, I would like to see rivers of red liquid, should I be arrested before I hurt someone or only later? Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, I think you should be arrested, but that's not the same as this. Okay, I have no. Okay, Afshin, the best way to get me not relaxed is to tell me relax. Okay, like, oh my God, Armin, I get you relax. I'm now the opposite of relax because you told me to relax. I follow your stuff for long enough to know how you think most of it. Okay, Robert is Robert is talking about someone else. Guys, I think I missed a whole bunch of your comments. So if I did, just tag me again, okay? But we need to finish this, okay? Okay, wait. The planned measures which will be brought before Parliament in December for a vote also call for preventing. Okay, I read this. Cruz said even if people have served their sentences. Oh, we already read that. In some cases, people who have just been released will be monitored. We already read that. Why don't I remember where I left it off? Okay. The Green Party, now in coalition with Cruz's People's Party, had previously criticized the concept of preventive detention while in opposition. See, there must be some other people don't like this. It must be as fishy as I think it is. Okay, hold on. On November 2nd, an attacker. Okay, an attacker killed 4 people in central Vienna before being shot dead by the police. 20 others, including a police officer, were wounded. Authorities in Austria have identified the suspect as 20-year-old Kujtim Fejzulay, a dual national of Austria and North Macedonia, who had a previous conviction for trying to join ISIL or ISIS. See, I'm not saying it because I know, in Syria, and had been given early release in December. An investigation has been launched into why Austria did not have Fejzulia under observation, despite being tipped off by Slovakian authorities that he had tried to purchase ammunition at a shop in Bratislava in July. I told you, guys, I want to yell right now, but I know you guys don't like it when I yell sometimes. I told you I had a suspicion. That the laws on the book already were good enough that if the authorities had followed them, this might not have happened. So these new measures probably would have not stopped this attack. The measures that would have actually stopped this attack were the measures that they already had, that they didn't follow through with. But they instead of they're like, hey, why the hell did we not do what we were supposed to do? They're like, hey, here's some new measures that makes everything more Orwellian, more authority given to governments, more intelligence agencies being able to excuse some really, really shady stuff. Yeah, let's just do that so that you guys, the public, shut the hells up instead of criticizing us. Like, but the public were like, why didn't you just do the job that you were supposed to do? You got a tip. You got, like, why were you not monitoring somebody that was worrying? So this guy wanted to join ISIS, and you're supposed to monitor it, and you didn't monitor it. And even after you got a tip, you still didn't do anything. Like, what the hell? Like, just do the job just follow the rules that you already have. Why are you adding new rules, new measures? Just do the job. You had one job. You already had one job. Somebody already gifted you information and you didn't follow through with that. What is up with this new measures? You don't need new measures. You don't need new measures. You already had the measures. I knew it. I knew it. What is it? I don't understand. I don't know what this guy says, but saying, "Oh, my Guru Armin, we love you from the bottom of our hearts." I like that. Wow. That makes me feel better. See, if you want me to relax, don't tell me to relax. Just tell me something like that, okay? That's how I've seen. See that's how you make me relax, okay? When I'm angry, just say something like that. Don't tell me like relax. I'll do the opposite. Yeah, I mean, gun laws. No, I don't think so. I mean, look at yeah, I mean, you want to follow a country like United States where it has the higher number of death by guns than almost other countries? I don't know. Oh, that translation was a fake? I don't care. I just accept the translation part. Afshin, I'm gonna Afshin. Why are you doing this to me today? Yeah. The proposal by the government also includes plans to strip dual citizens convicted of terrorism offenses of their Australian citizenship. Oh no, 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 no. You have two-tier citizenship now in Austria. Was this? Oh God, guys, you just devalued the meaning. You just destroyed the meaning of what it means to be an Austrian citizen. Now you have top-tier citizens and second-tier citizens. Great job, Austria. I hope this doesn't pass. God damn it! So, just remember that if you get if you're not an Austrian, if this passes, okay, and then you're not a natural born citizen, and then you come from another country and you get a citizenship in Austria, you're not really a real Austrian, okay? You're second grade Austrian. You're like the whole. You know what's the difference between a citizenship and a residentship? One of them is permanent and cannot be undone. Okay? So if you could undo citizenship, it's not really citizenship. Just know that if you are if this passes in Austria and you're a dual citizen, you are not the same as the quote unquote real citizen, quote unquote, real citizen. You're like kind of a citizen, but not a real, like there's something different about your citizenship, okay? There's just something different. This is how you change the definition of what it means to be a citizen of your country because of an attack. This is like, oh, my hand is itchy, let's chop off my arm kind of attitude. Dr. Anarchy saying, appeal your strike. I did. It took them 2 minutes to reject the appeal. 2 minutes. We spent hours, days, coming up with an appeal letter to tell them what to say. Like me and Susanna thought about it to be like, what do we tell them? Like we sat on it for 2 days and I improved it and made it perfect, everything. Okay. And then we hit send and like this, they were like rejected. It was the time that it took for them to reject it was not even enough for them to read what we had sent them, let alone rewatch the video. It was more than an hour long video. So we asked them to please watch it one more time. There is zero chance that it violates any of their community standards. Not only the rejection was short enough for them to not obviously not have watched the video again, it wasn't even long enough to read what we have sent them. I mean, why even have an appeal process? God damn. Okay, investigation arrests ongoing. On Monday, close to 1,000 police. I don't know what happened. StreamYard just like acted out. We're good. You guys have me. I think that was you. I think that was like. I don't know what happened. I think the gods of YouTube just took. I don't know what happened. Okay. Maybe I know it's not YouTube. It's the intelligence agencies. They're like, I'm like anti. Yeah, never mind. It's not funny. Investigation arrests ongoing. On Monday, close to 1,000 police and intel. See, no, actually, it is. It is. I take that back. It happened. I got kicked out right before. No. You guys are saying it's an act of God. Nope. Look at this. I have the evidence, undeniable evidence. It happened right before I said intelligence service officers. I mean, how could it be any more clear? Huh? How could it be any more clear? It happened the second before I was going to read intelligence service. This is a warning. It was a warning shot. It was like, Armin, we're watching. This is like Armin, we're watching. It was a message. They weren't trying to take an action against me. It was just a hint that just be mindful. You could talk about anything you want. You could be anti-China, anti-Islam, anti-Hindutva, but intelligence service officers, yeah. Okay. So, an intelligence service officers raided homes, businesses, and associations allegedly. Okay, so these wonderful agents that are keeping us safe, and we love them so much, and all of civilization would be collapsed if it wasn't for their watchful eyes that are the only people who are standing between us and total anarchy. That we are very, very grateful for their service, and that we know that we would be, every single one of us right now will be raped nonstop by an ISIS member. You know, if it wasn't for them, I don't care where on the planet you are. If it wasn't for them, you would be either dead right now or a sex slave. It was one of these two. Okay, so thank you so much for your services. We appreciate you so much, so much, so much. Intelligence service officers raided homes, businesses, and associations allegedly tied to the Muslim Brotherhood and Hamas, seizing millions of euros in cash across 4 provinces. Okay? Wait, I don't even know what I read. To the Muslim Brotherhood and Hamas seizing. Okay, good. This is good. No, I actually genuinely agree. This is good. Prosecutors insisted that those raids were not connected to the attacks last week, but were the result of an investigation stretching back more than a year. See, you could do. Yeah, this is good. The attack in Vienna followed an attack in Nice, France, in which 4 people were killed. In the wake of several assaults, France has also begun to close mosques. Oh, yeah, we're going to do a live stream on that. That sounds fishy as well. France has begun to close mosques and is cracking down on the organizations in it suspects are spreading hate. Yep. Guys, the problem with this, again, is I don't know where the line is, because if you want to find mosque, like in religious teachings that ties into terrorism, then it's basically just ban religion, just ban Islam. That's what you want to do, okay? Because you can't do that. You can't. I mean, I'm not saying do that. I'm just saying I don't know where the hell are you going to draw the line, okay? Because it's rotten to the very core, okay? All you're going to do It's just arbitrary come up with ways to close some mosques rather than and not the others. Am I? What the hell? Hello? What the hell? Are we back? Okay, yes. You guys have me, right? Yeah, the audio is good? Okay, I'm just gonna speak as if the audio is good. Yeah, we hear you. Okay, good. Okay, so I don't know what the hell happened. Okay, all this is gonna do is just gonna give fuel to all the people that want to cry out, Islamophobia! France is Islamophobic. This is not fair. Okay, I mean, to be fair to them, we actually do the same thing. We just cry something else. We say anti-Muslim bigotry. That's what we say. That's what we sound like. Yes, we sound like babies as well. Okay, but at least we use the right. We sound like crying babies as well, but at least we use the right terminology. We don't say Islamophobia. Okay, but they say Islamophobia. This is Islamophobic. This is why these people who are dying, they have it coming for them. I am okay. They do say that. You have to read in between the lines, but they are saying that. And if you go into the darker parts of the internet, they just say that outright. Okay. So I mean, technically, they're not even hiding it. They're like, I wouldn't do this to you, but it's great that this is happening to you. Okay? Because you do this to us, right? And they want to make young Muslims in Austria and France feel like, dude, France is not your country. Dude, Austria is not your country. Look at them. One guy died and they're closing down your mosque. You are being withheld the opportunity to be closer to Allah, to pray, to do what is expected from you Islamically, to pray in a group, which is a lot more important than praying individually in Islam, which makes you a lot closer to Allah than if you were doing it individually. They're depriving you of your religion for something that you didn't even do. These people, this is not your country. This government does not represent you. Come to the Ummah. Come to the Muslim Brotherhood. Come to this group. Come to Hizb ut-Tahrir. Come to that group. Come to this group. I don't know. We represent you. We are your family. Okay? That's what you do. Okay? Just close down the mosque and just let these groups be like, yes, please close down more mosques. These people that are trying to recruit or trying to like encourage lone wolves, they feed on this crap. They love it when you close down the mosques. Okay, then continue. The last sentence thing, however, there are fears of collective punishment. Yes, that's my fear. Collective punishment and rising is, see? The wrong terminology is used here. Collective punishment, yes, I'm afraid of that. And the rising Islamophobia. Guys, this is why it's hard to take you seriously, because you call it Islamophobia. Especially as Baraka City, a prominent charity, was dissolved in late October. We need to look into this. I'm also going to click on this fear and see where that leads me. Maybe that's going to be as after teachers killing French Muslims for rising. Okay. God damn it, I wish this was not a word. Okay? I wish this was not a word. Islamophobia. Why is wrong with anti-Muslim bigotry? Okay, political Islam, Islamism, Islamists, Islamophobia. These words, we need to, every time I hear it, I need to educate people on how stupid these words are. I was going to do more articles, but we already took 1 hour to go over one, so sorry. Personally, I would support Muslim children being placed in foster care if they were being brainwashed with a literalist version of Islam. Oosh. Sounds kind of scary. I would do something a little bit less intrusive. I would use the already existing laws saying all the kids have to go to public school, and the public school cannot be segregated. It needs to be mixed with other kids, and homeschooling is only allowed in very specific situations. Basically, what Macron was suggesting. I think that is like, yeah, no. What British Pakistani atheists, I think that is giving the government way too much authority. Like, um, have you tried? So yeah, I think what you want to solve is already going to be solved somewhat by making schooling mandatory, and schooling cannot be segregated. Basically, making secular schools compete with the parents. Why can't I highlight this? Okay, StreamYard is acting weird today. Ed is saying, have you tried inviting Zainab El? Oh, I think I know this person. Is that the person that says like Islam is fascism? Zainab Rahzoui on a live stream, an ex-Muslim red wait redicator in Charlie. Oh, I don't know. I believe she speaks English. Thought it might be hard to reach her. Though it might be hard to reach her. Is that the person I think it is? I Zainab El. Yes. Oof, I don't know if guys. This is not an endorsement of everything she said, because I don't know everything she said. But I listened to one of her speeches and I was like, I'm temporarily in love with this woman. Yeah, but she was fantastic. She was in that. Okay, guys, if I say she's fantastic and then you go find me something that is like really, really shady, okay, and be like, oh, Armin endorsed this woman and she said this shady stuff, okay? I don't know, okay? She might have said stuff that I don't know of that is really, really shady, okay? But based on the limited content that I've consumed from her, she seems awesome, okay? She seems like on point. Maybe I'm wrong. Don't come at me. Don't come at me if I'm wrong, okay? Okay, yeah, I don't. I need to look into these organizations. They do seem kind of shady. Hossein is saying Yahtzee Germany worried about Yahtzee phobia after Third Reich. I don't know what your conclusions are. Seems like not the right comparison, but yeah, I don't know what you're getting at. Seems like an extreme hyperbolic comparison. I'm not sure. Did you fap to her on her? No, but now that you say, I might. Forcing people to not be segregated. Forcing people to not be segregated is anti-freedom. No, it's not, because public schooling is mandatory in most civilized countries, and making it segregated, like it's like, to make it not segregated, you just have to stop actively making it segregated. You do realize that, right? Like, the government doesn't have to actively make the public schooling not segregated. It just has to not do anything to make it segregated. Again, children, when we're talking about public schooling, there are some freedom that adults enjoy that children don't get to enjoy. And that's a freedom I'm happy to take away from children. Children don't get to not go to school. Children don't get to, not get vaccinated. Yeah, certain freedoms are only for adults. Children don't get to decide that they want a tattoo. Like, if it's like, hey, the child is consenting, they want a tattoo. Like, sorry, you have to be an adult. You can do whatever you want to your body once you're an adult. So there are certain freedoms that are taken away from children, and that's okay. I'm okay with that. That certain freedom are just for adult. He's comparing Yahtzees to Islam. Seems okay, but Yahtzees never gave you halim or free food. Okay. Okay, so there's people and there's ideas. When it comes to Islam and Yahtzeeism, Islam is worse. But when it comes to Muslim and Yahtzees are a lot worse. Okay? It's the difference between a Kalashnikov and an atomic bomb. Okay? Do you guys get it? Most Muslims are great people, but Islam is a much bigger ideology and affects a lot more people over a much longer period of time. Right? Most Yahtzees are horrible people. In fact, all of them are horrible people. But Yahtzeeism is an idea that is so self-destructive that doesn't even last one generation in power. Okay, so it's comparison of ideas and the people are different. Okay, so it's Yahtzeeism would be a lot worse than Islam if it managed to survive and be as influential as Islam. We would be like so effed if it managed to be as influential. Like, so for example, a nuclear bomb is way more destructive than a Kalashnikov. But Kalashnikov has killed a lot more people than nuclear bombs. If nuclear bombs were used as often as Kalashnikovs were used, then we wouldn't have a planet. Okay? So technically, you know, ideologically, a nuclear bomb is a lot more horrific and disgusting to use. But overall, Kalashnikovs kill more people. Does that make sense? Oh, you agree with that? Okay, so Terrell saying in Denmark, a report have shown some mosques systematically harassing and taking part in mentally abusing women who want a divorce. Secular organization doing that would be closed. Yes, but those mosques who are doing that would be closed even if it were mosques. Okay, if you had like just a group of people abusing women, if you have an organization that's not even religious at all, and you were doing crap like that, then that organization should be shut down, right? So again, doesn't have to be the government already must have had the rules to be able to shut this down without any extra measures. So closing some mosques and not others, I think it's a nuanced approach in saying we go hard on extremist organization, but if you are an average decent Muslim, no problem. Mosques that are being closed down should be for reasons that they would be closed down even if they weren't mosques. That's my point, okay? The things that you close down a mosque for should be the reasons why a mosque is being closed down should be enough to close any other organization down for the exact same behavior. Because if them being a mosque all of a sudden is an extra factor, then you're betraying secularism. Then you are also you should close down mosques that are not doing those things as well, because the mosqueness of it is being a factor. Am I buffering? Okay. I don't know what's happening with YouTube. So I'm gonna. Yes, the lesser evil killed more people. The bigger evil. I mean, it's technically not the lesser evil if it killed more people. Oh, Marco likes my analogy, right? I like that. Just saying, for now, nuclear bombs are the best thing that happened to humanity. You mean nuclear energy? Yeah, okay. Yeah, I think I see what you're trying to say, but don't ruin my analogy. My analogy is perfect, and if you want to go that route, it just destroys it. So I'm not gonna just assume that they are not used for preventive measures. Okay, don't mess with my analogy. My analogy is so good. Okay, hold on. I was saying, I do wish they were this quick to consider closing Catholic churches when scandals break out. What I was saying, Terrell saying, I agree. That was my point in mentioning that report. The problem, though, is that for too long, religion has served as a shield for extremist mosque and extremist Christian sects. I very much agree with removing the privilege. Okay, as long if you're attacking churches and mosques or whatever, because you remove the privilege that they had compared to other organization, I'm like, yes, go hard. Go at it, right? If you have mosques that are not being closed down and would have been closed down if they weren't mosques, then like shut those motherfuckers down yesterday. Okay? So very much, yes, I'm very much in favor of taking down religious privilege. Okay? It's just some people cannot see the difference between taking away religious privilege. They don't see the difference between that and actually targeting people who haven't committed a crime because they are religious. There's a very clear difference between these two, and I think people need to recognize that. Don't go beyond removing the privilege. Wouldn't the closing down of the mosque seem counterproductive? People could easily find another space to carry on the extremist behavior, right? Anyway, you need to shut down. Okay, extremist behavior. What that depends on what you mean by extremist behavior. Are they like being abusive to women? Then you can't. You have to shut it down if they're being abusive to women in their building. It doesn't. You're not gonna like not shut it down because they could show up somewhere else. Because if they do, then just don't have a police then. Like, I mean, it's gonna be harder. Yes, maybe we could do it somewhere else, but it's gonna be more difficult because they constantly have to watch out for the. I mean, you could use this argument saying like, "Hey guys, why would we stop? Oh, they're robbing a bank. Why should we stop it? I mean, there's still going to be bank robbers, right? I mean, is that the line of reasoning we're using here? Because you're not going to stop all bank robbers, right? £2 super chat saying for saying mofos. Thank you so much for the £2 super chat. I'm going to just only not do much anymore. Noah is asking me a question that deserves its own entire live stream, so I'm not going to do that right now. Wait. Okay. Okay, I feel bad, so I'm gonna highlight this. How do I talk to my Muslim co-workers about what France is doing? So many of them feel personally attacked because of France trying to radically protect secularism. Tell them that secular France is better for Muslims. Like, listen, when France was not secular, it was impossible to be Muslim in France. Okay, like a non-secular France was a Catholic France that was not welcoming to practicing Muslims. Okay, tell them like a secular France is the best France for Muslims. Tell them that. Okay, tell them the reason why Muslims are running away from Muslim countries and coming to France is because France is secular. Okay, France, like, if secularism goes away from France, the first victims of it are going to be Muslims. Does that help? I don't know. Tell me if that's a helpful response. British Pakistani atheist saying, as a small child, my mom beat me to pulp anytime I made a mistake reading the Quran. Jesus Christ. And my family is Sufi. What a messed up religion that pushes a parent to do that. That is horrible, British Pakistani atheists. What? Yeah, that, see, that should be illegal. Those parents should be. See, this is what I'm telling you. Okay, ideologically, we as activists fight Islam. Okay, but as law enforcement, this type of behavior is arrest worthy. And guess what? It would be arrest worthy even if it wasn't Islamic, right? If you like read Harry Potter or I'm gonna beat the crap out of you, you go to jail. The parents, well, I don't know what happens to the parents, whatever the law is. Okay, but if you live in a country that you do that because of Islam and nothing is gonna happen to you, then we call that religious privilege and be like, No, this parent should also go to jail. And this is the kind of criminal behavior that we think that religions have a privilege, they have a shield, that they get away with crap like this without getting the punishment. And we want to take away that privilege away from them. And we think law enforcement should apply the law equally based on actions, not based on being thought police. Okay, man. Okay, no more comments. Katie saying, for someone who claims to have no knowledge of weapons and warfare, you use Kalashnikov in too many examples. People usually say AK-47, not Kalashnikov. Well, because it was where I grew up, it was mandatory for us to learn how to take apart a Kalashnikov and put it back together again. It was mandatory middle school teaching in public schools in Iran that we had to learn how to, and we didn't. I was so looking forward to that day. I was like, today we're going to go and we're going to play with guns and we're going to shoot guns. And I was so disappointed because we did so many things with that gun except shoot a bullet. We did not shoot anything. We just had to take it apart and put it back together again and stand in lines in the middle in the sun. And the teacher was telling us how to stand in lines as soldiers and march and in the right under the sun. Like this day, I was so optimistic about what this day is going to be like. I would get to shoot a weapon. I mean, imagine telling a boy that you today in school you get to shoot something. Imagine as a teenage boy being told that. You were like, this is the best day of my life. And then instead, you get told to play Humpty Dumpty with your gun and then go stand in the sun and learn how to stand still in the sun. The expectations were here and we went like over here. That was very sad. It was a very sad day. Yeah, that was in middle school. Yeah, in Iran, you have to learn how to use a weapon because everybody has to be ready to defend the country. I don't know if war happens. Even when it was Catholic, France was secular when it came to international politics. They were the first Zion ally to the Ottomans to counter Austrian Spain power to dismay of everyone. Yeah, but again, that's semi-secularism. So even then, it was because of secular values. Okay, I'm gonna go. I keep wanting to go, but you guys keep saying interesting stuff. All right, I'm gonna go. It's been long. It's been 1 hour 22 minutes. I keep trying to keep this under 1 hour, and I can't. Oh, Afshin is from Iran. He's saying, I can confirm the story. If anyone here doubts this is common in Iran, I went through it too. Oh, Afshin, did you guys get to shoot anything? I was promised shooting at something. Like I was promised that. They told us that. Did you guys get Afshin? Your school, you went to school in Iran as well. Did you guys get to shoot something? Man, it's to be a meme. Oh my god! Don't give them ideas. Afshin is not telling me if you got to shoot. Oh yeah, Ghost Bunny is here simping for #simp for Guru Armin. I love it. Thank you so much. Afshin is also #simping for Guru Armin. I'm becoming more tolerant. I was being very homophobic, not accepting male simps, but Susanna told me I'm being intolerant and that I will never defeat her in my simp count if I don't accept male simps. So I decided to stop being homophobic. I'm no longer homophobic, and I accept my male simps, especially since I also didn't get to shoot a bullet. So, yeah, so I'll accept you as my simp, Afshin, okay? So, your Guru Armin is no longer homophobic, okay? No shooting. Oh, I'm sorry. It's okay. It's their loss. I would have been such an asset in their army. But now I'm starting my own army with you guys. The Armin Army. Guardians of Enlightenment Values. And we don't use guns. Okay? We use ideas because ideas are bulletproof. V, you guys know what I'm referring to, right? You guys know the quote? You guys know the quote? All right. Ideas are bulletproof. Anyways, I hope you guys know the reference. Know the reference. All right. Make sure you subscribe. You thought I'm not going to say that? I'm going to say that. And don't you dare complain that I'm shouting in your ear. And my ear hurts. I did this, okay? I did this every time I'm yelling at you. Subscribe. Do it. Do it now. God damn it. I'm bringing you the best nuanced takes on everything. Everything. Subscribe. Reward this channel. Get us to 30K. Do it. Do it now.